Hi, this is Mark from allaboutthehouse.com, and I'm doing a little project today. I'm not sure how well it might generalize to similar projects, but let me give you just a little lowdown here. I've removed these shutters from the facade of this house here, between the four of them spanning those two windows that you see there. And this really wasn't, I hadn't done this before, and this wasn't so black and white obvious. There were a couple of things that I just wanted to point out here that you might find helpful if you're doing something comparable to this. First off, when I was going to remove these from the house, I have to say, there are these screws here that you see, and they're totally bogus. I mean, they're just part of the facade. In fact, this piece here had 3 screws in it as well, as you see, and they don't actually do anything. So they sort of beat you in. But the reality is there was a compression fitting. They snapped right on the front of this. You got to watch your fingers because it's very sharp when you remove them. And then behind there were the 2 real lag screws that went into the sheeting of the house. So you can see now I've started painting them. I'm going to paint them black from the turquoise that you currently see. And you can see originally they were even red. But if we come over here, just a couple of other things I want to point out, just to keep in mind. As I removed those sort of outer coverings, I glanced in beforehand, and you bet there were honeycombs in there. So if you're doing something like this, if you can take a sneak peek if possible, not only inside those coverings, those outer coverings, but if you can possibly just look behind at the wall. There were no honeycombs on the wall. The point is, if you disturb a bee's nest or even a honeycomb with 10 bees in it, yeah, that's not cool. So be prepared for that. And then you see the masking tape. The only other thing I'll point out here, and again, this is just to help give you some ideas if you're doing something comparable like this, is that now that I've removed these 4 shutters, and they'll be painted in about 20 minutes completely, on the back of each one I've labeled specifically, this is the bottom right-hand corner of shutter number 1. And the reason that's important to do is because when I put those back, I don't want to drill new screws into the sheeting. So shutter number 1 will go in first position, shutter number 2 in second position, etc. And all should be right in the world when I put those lag screws back in, and everything should align properly.